All right, I know people like it when we do 3 of the same videos in a row or whatever, but we're gonna do some more livestock trailer stuff. We're gonna get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, Brownstown IN. We need to go grab our impact sockets, which are right over here on the 1250A. We need to tackle this project too. We need to tackle that project 1000% now, but I can't do it anymore today. It's gonna get dark. But I did finally got a box of stuff, so that's good. So I hopefully have everything we need, minus oil. I need to go to the dealer and get oil. And also, I realized that I ordered O-rings and stuff, but they didn't come. So I don't know what the deal is there. I mean, that's a sealed up box. So I gotta figure out why they didn't send me the O-rings, because that may be a deal breaker for us too, because the bottom of that thing's got O-rings. I just realized that. So once again, they canoodled me on that project. That poor tractor has been nothing but a struggle bus. But anywho, we're gonna do some tire flip-flopping. And since our jack is in use, holding up the 1250A, I had to get creative, but I think this will work. Ooh, draggy brakes. Bearings aren't bad. Probably should do a more thorough inspection on that. I want to try to get those electric brakes working, so we will dig into that and grease bearings and all that. But for now, we're just going to get it flip-flopped around. I need to make one trip to town with it and back, and that's going to be it for a while. So we just want to get it set up, and we'll deal with all the other rebuilding later. Let's see here. One of these has a good battery. It's this one. Let's just put that in there. Out of sight, out of mind. I should have let's see, let's get a piece of cardboard and the tire. There's the tire. Beautiful. I bought it brand new. And you're gonna say, what's wrong with the tire on there? What I am doing is purely for cosmetic reasons, friends, and I will show you that right now. So the other side of the trailer has one rim that very obviously does not belong. See that? Truth be told, that probably is the rim that came on this trailer, and the other 3 have been replaced. But that is neither here nor there. We're gonna make it not look that way. But what we got to do is, the other side rim has these round holes. It's a mate to this one. And the one that I bought as a spare has this style. So we want to put these on there, so that on one side it looks the same, and then this will be on the other side, and 99% of people won't know, except all of you people who've watched it, that it doesn't match when it's going down the road. So that's what we're doing. And I've wanted to do this for a while. I bought that tire on the way to go get the trailer because they told me on the phone that they didn't think that the tires would make it home. But I don't see that at all. And it's sat out there, and I haven't put a drop of air in any of them, and they're all they still have air in them. I'm not saying they're perfectly inflated like they should be, but they got enough that you could take off down the road with it. So they were not as bad as what they thought, which is a plus for me, because they'll last me a long time like that. I mean, the only thing that might be wrong is, are they all the same size? They're 2 different types, 225 75 15, 225 75 15, 225 75 15. We need to look at the other side and see if it really is, but it should be. I think I already checked all that, and they should be all mates. Well, so far so good. It does look like somebody painted this rim though, so they probably had it off at some point in the near recent decade. All right. Come off of there, baby doll. I really need 2 hands, but I'll just sit here and hold the camera and make it more difficult for me. Sure. Look at that. Brakes kind of make a little noise, but that's okay. What do you expect from worn out electric brakes? And we got really nice wiring job here. I mean, exposed connections, and yeah, so that's working great. But like I said, well, I have never really messed with electric brakes. I know how they work, but I haven't really ever wired them up or anything, so we'll need to. I think you can buy all the stuff new, and if I do this, that's probably what will happen. I'll just buy all the new guts and put it all in new, so I don't have to worry about it again. And I've never had a trailer where it had working brakes, so we'll have to figure out how to make the truck tell it what to do, because I think it's got a built-in brake controller, but I don't know how to adjust it to make it do the thing. Let's put you there like that. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. It's good to know that it would have worked if I had a flat by the side of the road, because I just bought it on faith that it would actually go over there. I hadn't even seen the trailer in person yet when I bought this tire. I had bid on it purely by pictures on auction time, so. But it's kind of growing on me. I mean, even if I have to totally rebuild everything on it, I mean, I think I'm money ahead, because I bet a new one of these is $8,000 or $9,000, and I don't need to spend that kind of money on one. The stockyards is only like 2 or 3 miles from here, so, well, it might be 5 miles or more, but still, you get the point. I'm not, it's all slow speed. I don't have to go down the interstate or whatever, so this will suit me fine. I'm afraid that impact will twist us off if I get too carried away, you know. I think we're good. I think we're golden here, friends. Looks like we're on there just like we were. We still make the same brake noises we made before. Tread pattern probably changed a little bit, but that's okay. But it's going to look more similar now, you see, because we got these triangular holes versus the round ones. So now we have to pick up our whole operation here and go to the other side, put this trailer on the ground. Buddy the dog, what are you doing, pal? Huh? You've been off on an adventure? You were here a while ago, and then he took off and did some stuff and things, whatever that may be. Got some cockleburrs in you, buddy. But he doesn't like it when I pull those out, so. Yep. Good buddy the dog. You can go do something else. You don't have to sit here. Or you can, I don't care. You can do whatever you want, buddy the dog. But I'm going to the other side, so. You're dirty. You've been out playing in the mud. Sure. That's enough, he says. Boy, they only painted one side of that, didn't they? The back side. There may come a time when these tires are wore out that I just go ahead and buy 2 matching rims for this side too, so it has 4 alike. But for now, that one is going to go there as a spare, and this one's going to go there, and then life will be nice, you know? Wouldn't it be? So I got to think about this now. I need to pull. This one may not work as good as it did on the other side, but put my blocks up in the front, which is going to be a struggle bus because of the, you see what I'm saying? That's all bent down. Let's pull this off of here and we'll see what we can do. Well, one sad thing happened. My lights quit working. Okay, that plug is too loose. I bet before we're done, we're gonna end up cutting off that pre-made plug and putting on one of them that holds in there tight. Because that Chinesium plug does not want to grip this tight. And I bet they're gonna go off going down the road. Or they're gonna be sitting there flashing on and off. And I just hate that when you see that happen. So, yep. There's another chunk of that board we need. Well, it's either gonna work or it's not. It's gonna be hard to see because that's all smushed. Just barely. But I think it'll go, providing that that tire isn't a lot more something. I'm afraid if I go more though, I'm gonna throw it off of there. I can try it. All I have to do is reset. Sure, we picked up our stuff from our project. Although, what you don't realize is, you know, that was like 20 minutes ago for you. 2 videos a day. I try to film 4 or 5 if I can, but our daylight situation is not cooperating with that. Oh, fat. We need to, well, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it in a minute, but I'll explain. Four. Somewhere along the line, I lost one already. It's under my fat is where it is. There it is. Okay. Set you there. Well, there's one. How's this one? Sure. It's about ready to fall off of there, but the trailer is. So we'll put our foot under it. Now we're not going to look at springs or any of that and see if it's rusted. We don't want to know. That's work we don't want to have to do. But we're just going to ignore it. If there's a trouble. Oh well. Come on. Now, baby doll, don't make this harder than it has to be. If I could get closer, it would help. Oh. Come on. Get on there. Jeez. Where did you go? I didn't want to have to stick my foot under there, but looks like I got no choice. Let's see what this does, or how this tightens up. Couple more. Couple more. When it's been warm like it has been now, the last few days it's been in the 50s and 60s. Those cows, they really slow down eating the hay. They don't, when it gets cold, they suck down a bale in no time. So, another nice thing about the warm weather. All right. Sounds not good, but we're not going to worry about that. That's just the brakes falling apart in there. 225, 75, 15. Okay, I thought there was one that was different, and it's that one. That one says 225 70 15. So 70, yeah, that's just the way she goes. That must have been all they had, or the guy didn't care. Doesn't matter. That one is the same size as the one I just put on, so he had the right idea, just never got it all carried out. Sure. Now we'll be able to take that off of the ramps, but I'm curious to see, I mean, those have never had anything on them. It'd be cool to see that tire on there, if it really will play ball that way. Will it play ball? Or do I have to put it backwards? I might have to put it backwards to get it to go. Okay, that's another thing I noticed, and I thought was going to be the case. Figure that one out, friends. Those studs, dang it, those studs are too big to go through the holes of the rim. Now how can that be, you know? Let's double check this. Yeah, see, first of all, I'm over it, stay there. So first of all, in order to mount that on there, I'm gonna have to have it flipped inside out, because the dishing is wrong. That's no big hurdle, but I thought these looked like they're bigger for some reason. So that kind of sucks, because somebody, they welded that in for keeps, friends. I mean, not just a little. I guess I'll take a grind or a cutoff wheel one day, and if I use a new one, it might be big enough. I can just go across there and slice and get that out of there and weld in a couple new ones. But ain't that bizarre? That why would you use a different size stud than what your axle had? Unless the axles have been replaced at some point, or there was some other reason why. Ours is not the reason why. Just invert and multiply. So, I don't know. But I had that feeling the other day when I looked at it. I thought, you know, that looks like they're a little bit different. Also, they're super rusty, so it's not really going to hurt my feelings to just go ahead and make that better. I mean, this piece is securely welded on here. Like, there is no cutting that off and starting over. We'll just have to slice the bolts out and stick a couple other ones through and weld it and go again. But that ain't gonna be today's project. I sure thought it'd be neat to have that tire up on there. Ooh, this tire was ready to be replaced. I didn't even notice that when I drove it. It's got an aggressive chunk out of it, and this is separating. So yeah, this may be the end of the line for that anyway. I should have checked when I did that. You know, I should have checked to see if the holes in this and the new style rim would have went over there. Maybe I ought to just buy another one with a nice tire and put that on. But I think we're gonna end up, you know what I'm saying. I think it'd be easier just to cut them out and have two nice ones on that we know will come off of there. So we don't have to struggle bus the day we need the spare tire, you know. That would really suck. It's bad enough you got a flat tire, but if you can't get the spare off, that's even worse. All right, get in there. So yeah, that's junk. Didn't know that, but my plan wasn't a waste after all. It turns out it was a necessity. Let's get these off of there, because that's probably how those rotted out anyway. There's people letting them pile up with stuff. We can back off of there now. Yeah, that's one thing we're gonna have to address. Those Those little runner boards just are not in great shape. This one is really bad. So this is solid because it's a piece of angle iron that's part of the frame. But we're gonna have to skin it, cut it loose there and up back, and cut a new piece to slide in there that's got a bend in it, and maybe we can fool it into playing nice with us. What we'll probably do is have it cut too long, and then I'll notch it out to go around that pole, and then we'll go. Because my friends at the metal shop, I'd say they could bend me a piece of metal that's got a nice bend in it like that. That might have been a 2-stage bend. It was. I think if I do it, it's not going to be that way, but I don't know. That's cosmetic, really. I guess another thing I could do is, and I might do that anyway. I'm thinking in my head, not making much sense to you, but what I might do is lay me a piece of this. We'll do that after we tackle the floor, because what I'm thinking might happen is I might run a piece of angle iron in front of this fender, in which case that would give that a nice shelf to sit on, and then I can put in there whatever I want, and it'll have two solid places, and all I got to do is have a piece that bridges the gap. It won't even have to have a bend over edge if it doesn't want it. Because see, they didn't do that. They just like welded that piece to the edge of the fender, which is bizarre because the back, I mean, that's super solid on each end, but the middle part of it is not. So when the piece got weakened, then you just didn't really have you much, you know. This side ain't bad. Well, I could probably break through that if I bounced up on it enough, and it's the same way here. This one's really bad. Not that you'd ever be on there very much, but when you were loading, maybe, I don't know, kind of adds strength to it. But I'm thinking, like I said, I think I'm going to change the way the floor is made anyway to a more like all the other trailers in America, where the boards go this way, in which case I'll just run one continuous piece of angle iron in front and back there, and then that'll take care of two of the mounting places that we need for the boards. But that's going to mean pulling up the entire floor and starting over, which is okay. I mean, like I said, once I get this set up where I can use it, I don't mind having spent money on it if I make it a lot more usable for me than it is. So there's that. Now, to make this video a failure round out nicely, we need to tackle the sway chains, or the pull loose chains, because we don't have anything on this side. So what I'm going to do is drill a hole and bolt that other chain up under there, and then I'll hook this into it. You'll see what I mean. I think that'll be an effective way to get something functional without spending a lot of time and effort of cutting and welding and making sad life choices. So I will need a very nice bit for this. I will also need to do some research here, which I should do before I do anything. All right, we want to see what size bolt will go through this chain easily, whether it be 3/8 or 5/16. 3/8 would be better, and it will easily. So that's what we'll use. So we need a good 3/8 drill bit that will cut through metal, and we need a bolt. Maybe we'll just use this one, recycling. You know, it'll never come off of there again. All right, my plan. See, they got this nice piece of chain anchored on the other side, but nothing over here anymore. So what I was gonna do is just drill me a hole and bolt her to the back side, and then hook onto this side of the chain with that, and there she goes, you know. She'll be back the way it needs to be. So, where to put you? I got a very nice drill bit, but it's in the box. I didn't get it out of the box, I guess. So, let's do this. This is a brand new bit, so it should go. Alright. I'm gonna mark our, put right there. Oh, is this the dead battery? I thought that this was the good battery. Maybe they're all dead now. I bet they are. Okay, let's shift her down. Come on now. That's kind of ridiculous. Oh, no. I know why it's that way. Because I took the good battery and put it in the impact. So that's what I need to do. It's right over here. Now we're going to get it. We just like taking the detours through life. Now we can shift back up. Come on. Come on. Uh-oh. Oh, it got switched from drill. Sure. Let's try that. If we do this right, our life will be ruined. You know? Not really. Maybe this isn't the safest way, but it's certainly probably going to be better than if I tried to weld upside down underneath there and backwards. So I'm going to go with it, friends. I'm going to go with it. Oh, can I get that in there? Nope. And I have to go from this side? Sure. It's okay. We've been foiled before. We're going to put a double nut on it too. There we go. Now, my thinking was, what I'll do is just put the pin in it here as such, or however, which I freshly cleaned out. And then I can just use all the stuff I have instead of going to town and buying new stuff and whatever. I really thought this was going to work, but now it's making me second guess. What's the problem here? Is it sprung? Let's go this way. Let's actually go to this one. Come on. Come on! There should be no issue with what's happening right now. But for some reason there is. It's because we want it to work. That's why. I don't think there's room for that. Well, maybe there is. Okay, that's fine too. That looks even. Okay, you see what's happening now? You're going to say, it isn't going to work because it's if you pull tight here, it's going to pull this as one chain and forget about this piece. That's not going to, and then the same way over there. It'll pull on it like that. And they're both even, and they're both hooked up to something, and they'll probably still grab the ground, but then we can just give her a twist, see? And then it'll shorten it up a little bit. And then it won't drag, or whatever we got to do. And then it'll still pull tight. So don't freak out, people. It's not that big a deal. You don't live near me, most of you, so if it goes flying loose down the road, you're probably not the one who's going to get hit by it. But it's fine. It shouldn't fly loose because we've done everything we can for it. All right, let's put tonight. Get in there, get in there, yeah. Let's leave that in there, that's dry. Let's put these in there too. Let's take this battery with us and charge it because it's dead. Nothing like just looking the other way. Just shove it in there, look the other way. But we got chains hooked up again. We got lights hooked up enough to use. We got good tires on it now, which we didn't realize that we didn't have before. I thought we did, but turns out that one's junk. That must have been what they saw when I bought it and why they said they didn't think it'd make it home. And I never saw that, but it must have been sitting in a way that it wasn't obvious. So, sure, but we have a new one there and an almost new one there, and then two goodish ones over here. So that ought to last us a good while, like I said. And we'll get us a new tire on that other rim, or we'll get us a different rim or something. A rim and tire thing was just about as cheap as it was to buy a tire. So I might just go ahead and do that and then, you know, not worry about it. Maybe I'll take one. Well, see, then I'm back in the same boat of non-matching rims, but we got to work on that. Sometime we got to buy better lights, so we got actual lights all the way around, and we can do rewiring, get that junction box I keep talking about and never have got. But that's because when I did that video there and this one right here, it's the same day and it's only a few minutes apart. So that's why that never happened yet. But that's ready for continuation of what we've got going. And like I said, it's usable enough now that I can use it for what I wanted to use it for. And that's what we were fighting against, because I didn't think that I better pull it to town with no lights on it. And now that I saw how it was, I'm glad I didn't pull it to town with that junk tire, because if as soon as I know about it, it won't make it another 5 feet, you know? If we didn't know about that tire, I could have pulled that till the end of time and never had a bit of problem. But anyway, I guess we'll leave this one here. Maybe it wasn't enough for a video, but we did accomplish some stuff. We got this more roadworthy. I was going to put the license plate on, but then I'd have to run up to the house. I'll just do that next time I do the thing. I'll probably take it up to the house anyway to unhook it, because yeah, and then that way all my tools are in it, and then I got to run after them whenever I need them next. But maybe we'll work on this some more. Maybe I'll run to town tonight. You know, Christmas Eve's tomorrow, so I better do my Christmas shopping too one of these days. So probably a good excuse to go to town for that. And then we can get our supplies for this, you know, our Christmas present to ourselves, because we're the only one that loves us enough to give good gifts. So we will do that. But we'll see what we can find. Maybe we can find it'd be real cool if I could find some nice double-stranded wiring instead of having to pull apart the 4-strand to make this work. But I could do that. But, you know, we need to... I'll moo to you. We'll need to splice in our clearance lights, and I don't know, as rotten as that wire looked in that long run, I think we'd better just replace it now anyway when we're doing that other thing. And then we would know, you know, we would know that we had her good. So maybe we want to, I don't know what we want to do yet, but we can make it happen. We just need to get us some better lights and then we'll be in business, you know? So let's leave this video here. Not very interesting, but we did accomplish something, and that'll satisfy you people for another day. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me how dumb you think I am. Or if by some slim chance you liked it, say that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.